All right, let's dive in. We're all about the new moon this time, the one coming up on November 1st. We've got some really interesting sources for this deep dive, like we're looking at astrological charts
Yeah.
and even some witchcraft practices. But the thing that's really got me hooked is that this new moon is not just your typical new beginning, There's
Right.
this whole bunch of events happening all at once that make it feel extra special, you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. This new moon is in Scorpio, which is known for being pretty intense, all about transformation. And the interesting thing is how that Scorpio energy kind of mixes with the new moon's whole new beginnings vibe.
Oh yeah, for sure. I feel like I need to buckle up or something. It's a Scorpio energy. We're talking about going deep, right? What would that actually look like for someone going through this new moon?
Well, think about the parts of your life that might be calling for you to really go deep. Could be your job, your relationships, even what you believe in. You might find yourself thinking about your goals, the ones you've had for a while. Maybe getting rid of old habits that aren't working anymore, or trying to have deeper connections with people.
Got it. So it's not just about setting intentions for the future. It's also about facing those deeper truths that might be hidden under the surface.
Exactly. And our sources really emphasize that setting intentions is super important during this new moon. It's about actively using that transformative energy to your advantage instead of just letting things happen.
I like that. It's almost like we're getting this invitation from the universe to look deep inside ourselves, and then
Yeah.
use that to shape our reality. One of the sources even talks about a ritual where you actually write down what you want to happen, like making a deal with the universe, which sounds kind of wild, but I actually tried something like that once. I did a new moon ritual for a creative project, and it was crazy how things just started falling into place after that.
Right. That's what's so cool about working with these natural cycles. It's all about aligning ourselves with the rhythms of the universe
Mm.
and using that energy to help us. And there's actually another layer to this new moon that makes it even more powerful. It falls on Samhain.
Ah, Samhain, like Halloween, but more mystical.
Haha, exactly. Samhain is when the veil between the physical and spiritual worlds is supposed to be at its thinnest.
Yeah.
So it's like a time when people who have passed away can connect with us more easily.
Oh, wow. Okay. So are we saying the veil disappears completely? Or is it more like it becomes easier to pass through?
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. It's like the barrier between worlds is more like a curtain you can pull back. So during Samhain, we can connect with our ancestors more easily, or receive messages from the spiritual world, or even just experience our intuition being super strong. And actually, lots of cultures have special things they do around this time. Like in Mexico, they have the Day of the Dead. And in Christianity, there's All Saints Day and All Souls Day. They're all about honoring and remembering people who died.
Okay. So we've got this Scorpio new moon with all its intensity and power for transformation, happening on a day when the veil between worlds is thinning, making us more open to messages from the other side.
Exactly. And if that wasn't enough, we also have a magic triad of planets at play. Mars, Mercury, and Neptune.
A magic triad, huh? Okay, now I'm really interested. So what exactly does that mean? And how does it affect this new moon's energy?
Right, well, each planet brings its own special energy. Mars is all about action and drive. Mercury is about communication and thoughts. And Neptune is about dreams, intuition, and spirituality. So having them all lined up like this really boosts those energies during the new moon.
So it's like a cosmic power up for our intuition, communication, and ability to take action.
Yeah, exactly. You might feel your intuition getting stronger during this time, maybe guiding you toward new ideas, or you might find it easier to talk about your thoughts and feelings, or feel like you have a ton of energy to work on your goals. But there's also another thing going on with the planets. Mars is also opposing Pluto at this time.
Uh-oh, a bit of cosmic drama. What does that mean for us down here?
Well, it could stir up some tension, especially around things like power struggles or control issues. So even though there's this amazing potential for positive change and growth, it's important to be aware of those potential challenges. Maybe taking some time to think things through before jumping into action might be a good idea.
Sounds like navigating this new moon requires a delicate balance, embracing the energy for transformation, but also being mindful of the potential pitfalls. It definitely feels like a powerful time to tap into some practical magic. But where do we even start?
Well, one of our sources goes into some really cool practices that you might find interesting, like cleansing rituals, for instance. They're a great way to clear out any stagnant energy and make space for those new beginnings we were talking about. Things like sage, Palo Santo, or even just focusing on the intention to clear your space can be really effective.
Ooh, like a spiritual spring cleaning. I like it. What else do our sources suggest?
There's also crystal charging. It's a beautiful way to work with the new moon's energy. Crystals are thought to absorb and amplify energy, so leaving them out under the new moonlight is like giving them a supercharge.
Oh, I've always been fascinated by crystals, but I never really knew how to work with them. Any tips for beginners?
It's all about intuition. Choose crystals that you feel drawn to. You know, it doesn't matter what the books say. You can put them outside under the new moonlight or on a windowsill to soak up those moonbeams. And like with any ritual, setting clear intentions is key. Think about what you want the crystals to help you with.
So we've got intention setting, cleansing, crystal charging. What about that moon water we mentioned earlier?
Ah, yes, moon water. It's basically water that's been charged under the new moon's light. And it's surprisingly easy to make. You just fill a jar with water and leave it outside overnight under the new moon.
And what makes moon water so special? What can you actually do with it?
It's believed to be infused with the new moon's energy, that energy of new beginnings. And you can use it in a lot of different ways. You can add it to your bath for a ritualistic cleanse, or use it to water your plants. You can even drink it to bring that lunar energy into your body.
Wow, that's amazing. I'm definitely going to try making some moon water for this new moon.
It's a simple but powerful way to work with this lunar energy. And remember, these are just a few ideas to get you started. The cool thing about these practices is that you can adapt them. Make them your own, you know? Use what feels right for you and leave the rest. The most important thing is to approach it with intention and an open mind.
That's so true. It's not about following strict rules. It's about finding what works for you, what feels right in your heart. One of the sources also talked about something called a new moon bath. It sounds so relaxing.
It is. Think of it as a ritual bath, where you create a space for deep relaxation and connection with the new moon's energy. You can add herbs and essential oils, things like lavender, rosemary, or eucalyptus to help you relax and feel more clear-headed. Light some candles, put on some calming music, and while you're soaking in the tub, take some time to meditate on your intentions for the coming month.
It sounds incredibly soothing and like a perfect way to connect with this new moon's energy.
Absolutely. And if you've made some moon water, adding that to your bath can make the experience even more powerful.
I love that idea. Soaking in a tub filled with the new moon's energy, it doesn't get much more magical than that. There's one more thing from our sources that I found really interesting. It's the idea of planting seeds during the new moon, both literally and metaphorically.
That's a beautiful way to connect with the cycle of the new moon. It symbolizes growth and renewal. If you have a garden or even just some houseplants, you can actually plant seeds under the new moon and watch them grow as the lunar cycle progresses.
Yeah, it's like a physical representation of our intentions, taking root and growing. And even if you don't have a green thumb, you can still think about the symbolic meaning of planting seeds. Maybe it's starting a new project, or trying to create a new habit, or even just nurturing an idea that you want to develop.
Exactly. It's all about focusing on that intention to nurture those seeds, whatever they might be for you, and letting them blossom as the lunar cycle unfolds.
This deep dive is already giving me so many ideas. I'm so excited to work with this new moon's energy. And before we move on, I think our listeners would love to hear a final thought to take with them.
That's a good idea. With all this talk about Scorpio energy and the veil thinning on Samhain and intuition being heightened, I think a powerful question to ask yourself is this: what messages or insights are you open to receiving from the unseen realms during this time?
That's such a beautiful question. It's like we're not just setting intentions for ourselves, but also opening ourselves up to guidance from something bigger than us.
Right. It's a time to really listen, not just to that voice inside you, but also to the whispers of the universe, the messages from your ancestors, those intuitive nudges that can guide you on your path.
As we get closer to this powerful new moon, I want to encourage you to try out the practices we talked about, whether it's writing down your intentions, or doing a cleansing ritual, or charging your crystals under the moonlight, or even just taking a moment to connect with the energy of the moon. See what feels right for you, what resonates with your soul.
And remember, this new moon is a special chance for growth and transformation. Embrace its energy, be open to new possibilities, and trust that the universe is supporting you on your journey.
Beautifully said. So as we wrap up this deep dive, we'll leave you with this final thought. Pay attention to the subtle whispers, the unexpected insights, the dreams that stay with you. This new moon invites you to connect more deeply with yourself and the universe. Until our next deep dive, keep seeking, keep exploring, and keep expanding your horizons. We'll see you soon. And we're back, ready to really dig into some...
Right. And speaking of setting intentions, We were also talking about cleansing. This new moon is a great time to clear out any stuck or negative energy, so you can make space for those fresh starts.
Ooh, like a spiritual decluttering. I'm all for that. So how do we actually do that?
There are tons of ways. Some people use things like sage, palo santo, or incense, while others just focus on the intention to clear their space. It's really about finding what feels purifying to you.
It's amazing how much intention matters in all of this.
Absolutely. Our sources also talked about crystal charging as a way to harness the new moon's energy. They say crystals can absorb and amplify energy, so charging them under the new moon is like giving them a boost.
I've always been kind of drawn to crystals, but never really knew how to use them. Any advice for someone just starting out?
Just go with your gut. Pick crystals that you feel a connection with. Don't worry about what the books say. You could put them outside under the new moon's light, or on a windowsill to soak up the moonbeams. And as with any ritual, setting clear intentions is key. What do you want the crystals to help you with?
Okay, so we've got intention setting, cleansing, crystal charging. Now, what about that moon water we were talking about?
Moon water. It's just water that's been charged under the new moon's light. And it's surprisingly easy to make. You just take a jar, fill it with water, and leave it outside overnight under the new moon.
Cool. But what makes moon water so special? Like, what can you actually use it for?
Well, it's believed to be filled with the new moon's energy, that energy of new beginnings.
Mhm.
And you can use it in a lot of ways. Like you can add it to your bath for a ritual cleanse, or use it to water your plants. Some people even drink it to bring that lunar energy into their body.
Wow, that's incredible. I'm totally making some moon water for this new moon.
It's a simple but powerful way to work with this lunar energy. And remember, these are just a few ideas. The great thing about these practices is that they're really flexible. You can adjust them to fit your own beliefs and what feels right for you. Take what resonates and leave the rest. The main thing is to approach it with intention and an open mind.
That's so important. It's not about following rigid rules. It's about finding what personally resonates with you. One of the sources also mentioned a new moon bath. It sounds so luxurious.
It is. Picture it like a ritual bath.
Yeah.
You create a space where you can really relax and connect with the new moon's energy. You can add herbs and essential oils to the water, things like lavender, rosemary, or eucalyptus. They can help you unwind and feel more clear-headed. Then you can light some candles, put on some calming music, and while you're soaking in the tub, take some time to meditate on what you want to achieve in the coming month.
It sounds incredibly soothing and like the perfect way to tap into this new moon's energy.
Absolutely. And if you've made some of that moon water we talked about, you can add that to your bath too.
Oh, I love that idea. Soaking in a tub infused with the new moon's energy doesn't get much more magical than that. There's one more thing from our sources that I found really fascinating. It's the idea of planting seeds during the new moon, not just literally, but metaphorically too.
That's a beautiful way to connect with the cyclical nature of the new moon. It's all about growth and renewal. If you have a garden or even just some houseplants, you can actually plant seeds under the new moon and then watch them grow as the moon goes through its cycle.
Yeah, it's like a physical representation of your intentions taking root and growing. And even if you're not a gardener, you can still think about what planting seeds means symbolically. Maybe it's starting a new project, creating a new habit, or just nurturing an idea you want to develop.
Exactly. It's about focusing your intention on nurturing those seeds, whatever they are for you, and then watching them blossom as the lunar cycle unfolds.
This deep dive is giving me so many ideas for how to work with this new moon's energy. And before we wrap things up, I think our listeners would really appreciate a final thought, something to take away with them.
Yeah, I think so too. We've talked about so much in this deep dive about the Scorpio new moon, the thinning veil on Samhain, and how our intuition is going to be super strong. I think a really good question to think about is, what messages or insights are you open to getting from the unseen world during this time?
Oh, that's deep. It's like we're not just setting intentions for ourselves, but also opening ourselves up to guidance from like a higher power or something.
Exactly. It's a time to really, really listen, not just to yourself, but to the universe, to your ancestors, to those gut feelings that might be guiding you.
As we head into this powerful new moon, I really encourage everyone listening to try out some of those practices we talked about, like writing down your intentions, maybe doing a cleansing ritual, charging your crystals under the moonlight, or even just taking a moment to breathe and connect with the moon's energy. See what feels good to you, what speaks to your soul.
And remember, this new moon is like a special opportunity. It's a chance to grow and change. So embrace its energy. Be open to what might come your way, and trust that the universe has got your back.
That's beautiful. So to wrap up this deep dive, we'll leave you with this one last thought. Pay attention to those little whispers, the unexpected things you realize, the dreams that stick with you. This new moon is inviting you to connect more deeply with yourself and the universe. Until next time, keep searching, keep exploring, and keep expanding your world. See ya!
In a forest deep and shaded, whispers flow